Hello, I'm Mitt Romney, and as you probably know, I'm the Republican candidate for president. I'd like to start off by saying that our thoughts and prayers are with those on the East Coast who've been affected by Hurricane Sandy. Americans come together in times of crisis. Our first impulse is to come to the aid of those in need. This time will be no different, and we will help our fellow Americans recover from this tragic storm. In just a few short days, Americans will go to the polls and cast their ballots. Many of us are thinking about Election Day, this Tuesday, November 6th, but we should also spend some time thinking about November 7th. That's the day we'll know whether we made the right choice, whether we settled for more of the same disappointment and decline, or whether we took the first step down a new path that will deliver a real recovery and real change. When you step into the voting booth, I'd ask you to think about the last 4 years. 4 years ago, candidate Obama promised to do so very much, but he's fallen so very short. After all of the petty partisanship, all of the standoffs and stalemates, 23 million Americans are still struggling for work. On Friday, the unemployment rate rose to 7.9%. 47 million people are on food stamps. Our economy is still on life support, and our country is $16 trillion in debt. We can't afford 4 more years like the last 4 years. But that's exactly what President Obama is offering. Instead of developing a plan to address our serious challenges, his campaign has focused on phony issues, and instead of thinking big, they've wound up looking small. The question of this election comes down to this: do you want more of the same, or do you want real change? President Obama promised change, but he couldn't deliver it. I promised change, and I have a record of achieving it. We need a real turnaround if we're going to get our economy growing and get Americans working again, and I've led that kind of effort many times before. During my 25 years in business, I helped people turn their dreams into success stories. Together, we built names like Staples, Bright Horizons, and the Sports Authority, and helped create over 100,000 jobs. When I became governor of Massachusetts, the economy was in bad shape and our budget was out of balance. My legislature was 85% Democrat, and people weren't sure if our state's leaders could get the job done. But we worked together. By the time I left office, we had moved past 20 states in job creation and turned a $3 billion deficit into a $2 billion rainy day fund. Whether in public office or at a private business, I didn't ask people what party they belonged to. I asked them what ideas they brought to the table. As governor, I met with leaders of both parties to find common ground. That's what I'll do as president, and I'll start on day one. On my first day in office, I'll also send 5 bills to Congress and sign 5 executive orders. Every one of them will help us create jobs, and that's just the start of my plan to create 12 million jobs in my first term alone. Every piece of legislation and every executive order will help us achieve 5 important goals. First, we'll achieve North American energy independence by the year 2020. Second, we'll make sure our students and workers have the skills they need to succeed. Third, we'll promote trade that works for America and crack down on countries like China when they cheat. Fourth, we'll cut the deficit from day one and balance our budget within 10 years. And finally, we'll champion our small businesses, the engine of job creation in this country. Look, I know we face big challenges, and we don't need more catchphrases or word games. We don't need more of the same petty partisan attacks. We need a leader with a real plan that will deliver real results. My opponents have spent much of this campaign talking about small things, but the challenges we face are real, and they're big. That's why Paul Ryan and I are focused on how we can make our way back to prosperity and opportunity, how we can rebuild a strong military and fashion a strong economy. The choice before you is clear. We can wait 4 more years for real change, or we can take things in a new direction in just a few short days. On Tuesday, the choice is yours. Our destiny is in your hands. I hope to have your support, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you so very much, and God bless America.